Hello again, everyone. The Undustable here to talk about the star map for Star Citizen in all of its awesomeness. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to cover all of the systems for this map in one video, so I thought I'd make this one video as a sort of introduction and see if anyone was interested in me making more, because the lore for this game is vast, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Now, at the moment, I understand there are about 88 systems on this map as a whole, which, if they keep to their original stretch goal promise, means that there are at least 12 undiscovered systems that players can go out there and find. But right now, I thought I'd start off with our own system, the solar system. Now, when you right-click on a system that you want to look at, it will show some general info like population density, its economy, and its threat level. Now, obviously it's our home, so there is no threat level. And it also shows some basic information about the system that you're looking at. This one being the birthplace of humanity and the capital of the empire. The Imperator, the Senate, and many other UEE institutions are based on Earth. Among the many historical milestones that the system can lay claim to is the first ever terraformed planet, Mars. Now, keep in mind that I'm making this video for people who might not have time to look at stuff like this, or doesn't want to explore this for themselves. Now, as we zoom in, we can see the whole system. I mean, it looks pretty good. We got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars right here. Got an asteroid belt in the background. There's a jump point back there as well. Now, we can just circle around, see the whole place. Oh, there's Pluto back there. Yeah, you can see it. I know you can. So let's go ahead and click on Venus. Habitable? No, of course not. When it says here, when you zoom in, you know, it is uninhabitable, basically. So I'm going to zoom back out here. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of closer look at Earth. Now, obviously, Earth being the main planet. Oh, look at that. We got 3 landing zones on Earth, so you know we're going to be able to go there. Looks like the 3 landing zones are New York, Moscow, and Shanghai. It's pretty interesting. Nice to see what they got there. And, of course, the moon. I guess there's no landing zones there. Too bad. Now, as we zoom all the way out like this, you can see just how big the solar system is, especially in-game. I think it's the biggest system that we've come across so far. So as we circle around here, we're gonna... Oh, look at that. Pluto. It says planet. It says planet, people. Take that, NASA. Punk bitches. So, as we zoom around here, let's go find a jump point real quick. If we can. There we go. To Croshaw, I think that is. Let's go for it. Oh, look at that. I think that looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. It's a little, like, black hole looking thing. Just sucks you right in. But you can enter these, and it'll just zoom you right over the place. So let's go ahead and take a little trip. Now that was pretty cool. And now here we find ourselves in the Croshaw system, however many light years away from our own system that we just left. And also here we have some named planets, like this one, Van, which is indeed a habitable planet, even though it's mostly ice, but people still seem to live here. Now, I'm going to assume that if it's a named planet, it has some sort of significance to the story, even if, you know, it's just some random planet way out here in some random system that we just clicked on. Now, we can see some jump points over here, so it has a couple of them in this area. Also, we have this, the cluster, which seems to be an asteroid field. So here we have our first asteroid field, which I'm sure is going to be a huge fight over the resources out there for anyone who is going to do mining. Now, I decided to skip ahead here because it took me a minute to find it, but I wanted to come back to something that I had found earlier, which was a black hole. And not only is it a black hole, but once I figure out how to zoom out of this thing, because I ended up getting stuck here for some reason, but it is a black hole that has its own planets in orbit of it. Now, if that just isn't the coolest freaking shit you've seen in this video so far, then there's something wrong with you. And as we zoom out here, you can see that it has indeed 2 planets that orbit this black hole. And it looks like 1 jump point, I think. But man, that is just cool. And I don't care what you say. We found a black hole. Now here is an interesting system. For any of you who read about the lore for this game, you would recognize this system as being the first occurrence of humanity affecting developing alien life, which created a huge outburst from the people to the government and spawned what is known as the Fair Chance Act, to keep the UEE from terraforming any planet that is inhabited by any form of sentient life. Now this is the planet here, Garentu, where they knew life existed but didn't care because it was a good spot for a new colony. Here we have the space station full of scientists that work round the clock, unnoticed by the locals, mind you, to try and restore the planet to its natural state, so the current occupants can get back to their former state. Now when I say they didn't care, I mean the terraforming company. The people, once found out, were outraged, and it cost the government tons of respect, and I believe was the beginning of the end for the era of the Imperators. Now here is the last system I'm going to go over for this video, the Vega system, which is pretty interesting because it's the first system that I've come across that shows a planet currently under Vanduul attack, which makes me wonder if the map will update sooner or later to display whether or not the attack from the Vanduul was successful or if it was held back by the UEE. Either way, it'd be neat to see how the map evolves over time. So I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if this is something that you would like to see regularly, and I will definitely put some more in-depth information into the future videos, as this was just kind of an introduction. Anyway, thanks guys, and take care.